The following review may contain spoilers. The film has three really good comedic performances. First, Bridget Lundy Payne as Keanu Reeves' daughter, who does a fantastic Keanu Reeves impression. Lundy Payne has all of his mannerisms down, including his kind of floppy head movements. Second, Anthony Carrigan, who plays a killer laser beam shooting robot. The comedy for this character is in a similar vein to William Sadler's Grim Reaper, in that a dark character is portrayed in an ironic way. Here we have a deadly robot who is actually a dork who can't stop introducing himself with his dorky-sounding full name, Dennis Caleb McCoy. And the aforementioned William Sadler returns, and once again he is just hilarious. Again, the humor is ironic, as the Grim Reaper is like this sensitive and sweet guy. The look on his face when he's invited to rejoin Bill and Ted's band is just priceless. And the script does have some good ideas. One of them was to have Bill and Ted travel into the future to see very different versions of themselves. We had super muscular versions of them in prison, Bill and Ted as British rock stars, and elderly versions of them while they are living in a senior home. It was fun to watch Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter get into these different costumes, and I'm guessing it must have been fun for them to shoot as well. Samara Weaving is completely miscast as Alex Winter's daughter. We have Bridget Lundy Payne doing Bill and Ted's dude thing, but Samara Weaving is barely doing it at all. I mean, Bill and Ted are basically the exact same guy, variations on Jeff Spicoli, so why would you have their two daughters be different? Why would Keanu Reeves' daughter act like him, but Alex Winter's daughter not act like him? This was an odd choice, and they should have cast an actress that could capture this vibe a lot better. Going back through time and finding great musicians was a good idea on paper, but the problem is that some of the characters, actually most of the characters, were not funny. In the first Bill and Ted, all of the historical figures that they bring together had some kind of comedic element to them, but there's nothing really funny you can do with Jimi Hendrix, Louis Armstrong, a Chinese flutist named Ling Lun, and a prehistoric drummer named Grom. The only one of these famous legendary musicians that came off as humorous was Mozart, who seemed like a variation on Napoleon from the first Bill and Ted. Even the casting of Kid Cudi was off. I think the comedic premise of the character was that a modern rapper actually knew more about the nuances of time travel better than anyone else in the cast. This is only funny if it's a rapper that has an image of being like not the smartest guy in the world, like a Flavor Flav, for instance. Kid Cudi seems really smart, so some of the humor was lost. So this whole idea of the two daughters traveling back in time to start a mega band with these great musicians is just not that well developed comedically. The ending was really unsatisfying. I actually couldn't put my finger on it at first, but when Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter tell their daughters that they are the ones that are supposed to write the song that saves humanity, it's just not that big of a payoff. Probably because the script doesn't really set them up as musicians that well. We see them in the garage in the beginning, and I think they're playing music or something, and they do seem knowledgeable about old legendary musicians, but it's not clearly established that they have this big dream of wanting to be musicians themselves. Also, there's not much at all in regards to the two daughters' personal crises. If they had some kind of issue in the beginning, like they had difficulty starting a band, or like they're rejected by people who don't understand what kind of music they want to make, blah blah blah. Then when their dads tell them they're the ones that are supposed to write the important song, then the payoff is just way more satisfying. And this whole element of the script really should have been fleshed out. My final rating for Bill and Ted Face the Music is 2.5 stars. As of the making of this video, the Rotten Tomatoes percentage for Bill and Ted Face the Music is 81%, which is a tad too high. So it was fun to see Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter be reunited for purely nostalgic reasons, but a more polished script could have made this movie a lot more fun.